It's the 13th of February, Sunday. I thought I'd come on and share some thoughts about some music I was absorbing over the weekend. I want to let you know that I do check out some of you folks' videos, not a whole lot. El Bicho Feo with his Cheap Heat series, I always catch those. Dave Wayne, drummer, I think is in Arizona. It's a good series, and Dave is a real music lover, so his picks and his choices are just always stellar. I check out some of the other folks. When people, I need to say again though, when people leave me links, I am not, just for a whole lot of reasons, I'm not interested in that. So if you insist on leaving me links, just understand I'm probably not going to look at it. Okay? Please, just understand. When it comes to the internet, because I don't pay for like TV and shit, other than my cable, YouTube and actual sites are my TV. So I do check out folks like Vinyl Massacre. I checked out your channel. I did. And then someone else told me to check out David Atkinson. And I did. But the person that I found recently who has been informative to me has his channel is called Classical Nerd. I'm not into following personalities so much. Maybe I am, I don't realize it. I'm really kind of hungry for information. So the Classical Nerd, I ended up on him after watching a documentary on Harry Partch, the instrument maker. Again, interesting man. And it was good to hear his theory and thoughts about 12-tone music and how it's hijacked reality. I think, wow, there's just a lot to that. You know, the fact that we are in this, you know, sound is everywhere, and yet we make music in this really structured 12-tone system. And he just went outside of it, and I love how a lot of it's just based on the voice. You know, the voice is not sing-songy. It glides up and down and moves. And fascinating how he took the 8 octaves and changed them into like 43. I love it. His early albums are really hard to find and expensive. I'd love to have some of that early Harry Partch record that he put out on Vinylite. Wouldn't those be cool? Another person who it was kind of like the trajectory. You see Harry Partch, then Moondog pops up. So I watched what I could. I've always been interested in Lewis Hardin and his percussive music and his instruments. The short documentary that I saw on him was informative. I've liked Moondog for a long time. This is an original. The Viking of 8th Avenue or whatever it is. This is good stuff. It really is. It's the percussive nature of it and the way he uses his instrument. It's very unique. It's really good. This is Beat, but I also have Moondog 2. It's, as you see, damaged, but this is good stuff. And then in recent years, trying to get more of his stuff, I ended up buying the same album, not looking closely, but this is the same album. Moondog. Same songs on both, but I keep them. The other person that I got into last night, listening-wise, well, a couple more. Alan Hovhaness. I've had this for a while and I like it, and watched a good documentary on this man. I love finding out about people's methodology when the music intrigues me, because the reasoning behind it is almost always left of center, something that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of, you know. Like George Crumb, a lot of his music, which seemed really avant-garde, he says it was inspired by the where he lived, the nature, real basic. So this piano solo's Shalamar, it's not quite Eastern. This guy is really something, Hovhaness. And I have this other album with one of his pieces on it. Sylvia Marlowe doing her own pieces, plus the Quartet for Flute by Hovhaness. Really got into this stuff last night. Well, I love this music anyway, but and I just thought to myself, let me share this because I don't talk about classical music very much. The other person I watched besides Xenakis, I watched the Classical Nerd talk about Xenakis, was Elliot Carter, because I wanted to understand more. Elliot Carter is someone who, when I have listened to him, he's been a little bit inscrutable to me. So it was good to, besides reading, because I do read the notes to try to understand what's going on. The Classical Nerd reads, loves classical music, and understands it well, so he explained it well. So it was enlightening to go back and listen to the Variations for Orchestra and the Double Concerto for Harpsichord and two chamber orchestras, after listening to him talk about what was going on here and how Elliot Carter would literally use parts of the orchestra to cluster parts of music to contrast with other parts. Like on the harpsichord and piano concerto, in one part it's explained that he's got the harpsichord in minor, doing a minor trajectory, and the piano's on a major trajectory, but it's like A and B flat. They're right next to each other, but they're one's minor, one's major, and yet it's cool because the whole idea was, well, let's see, does this work? Can I make this work? And it does. It doesn't rub against. It's like this. Really intriguing, and really improved my appreciation for what's going on here, because sometimes it can just seem like it's just all over the place, or like, why is it doing what it's doing? I started to listen to the Piano Concerto by Elliot Carter last night, and I started to get tired, so this is on my playlist for today to get into. Okay. Yesterday was Steve Hackett's birthday. I'll mention that because we were celebrating it online. Steve Hackett formerly of Genesis, is one of my top guitarists, along with John McLaughlin and Dereck Bailey and Alan Holdsworth and some others. I love his style. I love to listen to him talk, too. I like his personality. I would love to meet Steve. And this is a single of his that you don't see often. A doll that's made in Japan, with a non-album B-side. It's fun sharing that. Anything else before I go? Yes. So, you know what happens when you buy records? You want to buy some more. So, I went to Grapefruit and I did that. And then Recycled Sounds, which is run by Stuart, I consider Stuart a friend, he posted a picture of some bootlegs he got in. I know they're boots because they're not official. I'm not into bootlegs, but at the same time, depending on what's around, I might buy one. So he got in this Bowie bootleg, Under the Moonlight, from the Sound and Vision Tour, 1990. White vinyl. The sound quality is not great. But at this point, that's really not, for me, no big deal. I just kind of wanted this. Plus, it's got these codes on the back and you scan the code, and there's an online book of pictures and stuff that goes along with this. So that was pretty cool. The other bootleg that he got in, same through the same connection, is this Pink Floyd, Why So Terribly Loud. This is that interview with Hans Keller, where he talks about the music is too loud and stuff. And then there's the everything on here has been released before on bootleg, the UFO Club and the Palazzo performances. Then the B-side is like a radio program, and there's people talking, and you hear Pink Floyd the least during the interview, which is something that happens a lot with this sort of stuff, you know. But I wanted it. I said, look at that. That's cool. That was the most. These were the most interesting things in the store when I went out there. Like I say, grapefruit could break me easily every time I go there. It's not like that at the other stores. The other thing I bought from Stuart was this, because I really enjoyed the McCartney the other day, and when I saw that this was still in the store, I said, okay, I'll grab it. People, it's really interesting how people, I think it's young people who don't know any better, have a weird attitude about Paul McCartney's latest album. So these are remixes and reimagines. Double album on gold vinyl. That was, again, I thought to myself, yeah, I'll get that. On here, the ones that I like the most are the EOB remix, the Ed O'Brien from Radiohead. The Anderson .Paak remix, I like that a lot. The one thing I'll say on here that maybe I don't have to say, but I'm going to say it, is that I find Kerrang Band just really kind of just so-so. And what they do on here is doesn't really stand out. So, that's where that's at. Only other thing I'm going to say is I just really keep hoping for good things, although I know that we're just the way things are going is the way they're going. Okay, so music saves me. And I do notice that folks are less interested in my music than me talking. So I want to again encourage folks, because I look at the numbers. The edit from my last performance at Under the Radar with Aaron Gum. Check it out, people. That's some good stuff. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of my music. It is good. You know, if you don't like it, that's fine. But it's good, so there's nothing to diss about it. I think you ought to check it out, you know, because Aaron and I are good. I do find it interesting, though, that people are more interested in what I have to say than my music. Yeah, that's c'est la vie.